are two components. But the
Unang ilam kaliang persya Mukul Sangma hakakat artrik leber ula Dawa banle ya ke safety audit halor baru kilain penyai sainar bording kenang bentik lakam halor ki jingja syabat bording ha ke jela haba penpau ke jing sukia halor ke ni ke phang ha ke kentabu jingkeli Mukul ula Dawa ya ke jingkular nakal yang ke sorkar ban pentikna bakanduan ke safety audit halor baru kilain penyai sainar bording Ula ong bakani kan penti kena halor ke jing shingan jong ki trai jaka bar ki nongrem namar laju sakhi labun sin bakine ki de ki jaka ki bajuja ki jing syabat boarding. Haba jubab menteri ketenar boarding U80 mondal ula kular ban khmi halor kene ke benta da ke bapentip bakin le ka safety audit halor baru ki lain penyai sainar boarding. Hashua kene haba jubab ke jingkeli balawan ra da MLA ka TMC urupa marak Menteri ula pentip baki ladon Southly ki jingja syabat boarding hapok dadeng grey block hakini ki ship house nem ki balalek no. Ya baru ki dekhot jong ki longying jong ki lanot syabat boarding la siu ya kebai luksan ka bokot syaka live hulak tingka ula ong. Nalor kata umarak ula pentip ru hapok ke ying dorbar ba kaladon ke jingja syabat boarding hapok ke konstituensi jong u ha ke bahadin prasnem la siu ya kebai luksan ka balong shilak tingka ha ka lai tarik ulber mentau snem. Halor kani menteri ulaong hoot kadai ke jing shisha ngila tokit benia halor kani ke jingja ba balai kan shimpor haduk kani bat ngakular bakum kani kamdei ban wanja syu hadin habun.
I also rise to support the cut motion tabled jointly by honorable member from Nongkrem and honorable member from Meghalaya. In respect of grant number 11, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, it's a very crucial sector. The minister in charge power has been with this whole exercise of troubleshooting, dealing with challenges, issues. He has come a long way, very conditioned and experienced. But despite the challenges are there. Now I'd like to draw the attention of the minister in charge pertaining to one very serious issue. Now the serious issue is the tariff. As consumer, we all consume. You look at the tariff prior to 1st April 2024 and effective from 1st April 2024. Look at the difference. Look at the escalation. And also, the usual approach adopted as a policy, as a matter of policy, to see that we have a little space to play by creating so-called the approach of adopting the cross-subsidization of the tariff for the domestic consumers, the common man, the poor people, and somehow shift this burden in a proportionate manner to the industries. This is how the whole tariff exercise is used and resorted to as a matter of policy. Now, that's the reason why we try to attract investment. That's the reason why we do require industrialization to an extent that is necessary to ensure that the momentum of growth is generated and at the same time sustained. But industries cannot be somehow considered as the blue-eyed boys of the power sector authorities and pass on the burden in respect of tariff to the common consumers, to the people, to the citizens. Now, how is the tariff calculated? The Electricity Act 2003 pertaining to the tariff petition by the concerned distribution company is self-explanatory. Now, all the overhead expenditure by all the separate entities are worked out. So generation companies, every per unit generation cost is calculated based on which the respective tariff of every unit generated by respective generation stations are finalized. So this is passed on. Somewhere you will have a low tariff, the hydroelectricity project which have been established long time ago. that is something which comes as a cushioning effect for making good to the electricity which is being generated by the new generation stations. Because the new generation stations will have the burden of repayment of interest on the borrowing that was required for the development of the project itself. So there is a mechanism which is incorporated in the whole system of fixing the tariff at different levels. Then the wheeling charge. Wheeling charge is also again governed by the law. So the distribution company will take into consideration all the charges, wheeling charges, and then every unit that is purchased from the generation companies, whether it is our own generation company or also from outside. The whole cumulative expenses. But on top of that, what is the other overhead? The overhead which is due to the mismanagement, inefficiency, and corruption. Now for a construction of a distribution company where we needed 100 crore, if you spend 150 crore, where will this money be? The investment, where is it going to come back? This is passed on to the tariff, to us, to the common man, to the unguarding, innocent consumers of the state who do not have the access to this information, this knowledge as to how tariff is determined. That means indirectly, I am paying more because of the inefficiency of this distribution company. Every household, every poor, every widow who has the electricity connection, they are paying. Is it the way to run this sector? That's why we say in the interest of the public, in the interest of the people. Because everybody is affected because of corruption, because of inefficiency, because of the manner in which the whole money which is being injected into this crucial sector is being misused. That is the reason why we have been asking and demanding for inquiry. Not to point a finger, but to create a deterrent so that the same thing doesn't become a modus operandi available before greedy people in authority. Temptation. We must insulate our people from temptation. How will we insulate? By deterrence. What are those deterrents that we are talking about? Through transparency, through regular monitoring, to taking into cognizance any information pertaining to irregularity. But this government has always been in the habit of adopting a mode called denial mode. Am I going to make my submission in this house for nothing? No, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. It is because the way things are going on, it will become very difficult for our common man to pay the electricity charges. I checked up my electricity bill for my Nongra Mills residents. 18,000 rupees for 1 month. 18,000 rupees Dr. Mukul is paying. Last year, how much? Compare. Sudden, escalation. I don't think everybody is looking at this angle. Why is this increasing? It is because of all the added burden of the expenditure, which is due to manipulation of the cost. You look at all these programs funded by EAPs. We are fortunate that we have the EAP, where substantial amount is coming as grant. But you look at the borrowing, subsequent other borrowings. Look at the burden of interest. I referred in my submission during the discussion on budget, though these were very efficiently avoided in course of reply. Look at the interest burden of these three entities. Our Meghalaya Power Generation Company, and then Power Transmission Company and Power Distribution Company, and with the holding company, MECL. The interest burden has shown increase every year from 2021 onwards. The interest burden was around 150 crore in In 4 years, it doubled. Interest, I'm not talking about other things. Now, this interest burden has to be again looked at from the interest coverage ratio. It is not workable anymore in respect of distribution company. When financial, whole fiscal health is gone out of control, then it is not workable. That is how the whole auditing, accounting in respect of a corporate world is worked out. It is not workable anymore in respect of Meghalaya Power Distribution Company Limited. Therefore, it is necessary for the government to take serious interest in identifying the areas where the avoidable expenses which has added upon this extra cost on the implementation of the project should be done. Now, I'm not trying to point a finger to someone or anybody, but it is necessary because everybody is paying. It is not that government is getting loan, giving grants, so they spend as they like and then the burden is not passed on to us. No, it is passed on to us, the consumer. It is not passed on to even the government. Government is not going to pay the bill. We are going to pay the bill, the consumers. Therefore, there is a need to look at the whole approach to this. Somehow, Meghalaya State Electricity Regulatory Commission has its own job. They will fix the tariff based on the expenses, cumulative expenses, the overhead expenses, which are inclusive of the losses, which are inclusive of the hidden costs, which otherwise were not required in the manipulation in the process of implementation of program, thereby inflating the cost of expenses in the process of implementation. Therefore, every investment that has taken place in the state and the cost associated thereof must be put to auditing. Special auditing is required. Otherwise, this will become a precedent and MECL will in totality become a milching cow. It has become a milching cow. Look at all these other reports of the preceding years of the CAG, which is available before all of us. Self-explanatory. How much avoidable expenditure has been incurred due to due to deviation from the normal procedure of whole implementation. It is there. Last year's report, preceding year's report, it is there clearly before us. Not 1 rupee, 2 rupee, not 1 crore, 2 crore, 150 crore, close to 200 crore. And that is only tip of the iceberg. Look at Ganol Power project. I will make a submission before this August House, before the Minister in charge. Ganol project. Before 2018, what was the physical progress of the project? I want to know. The House should know. What was the physical progress of Ganol hydroelectricity project in respect of physical progress with respective components thereof? Because, why I'm saying this? Because subsequently there was a sudden escalation, huge escalation. And when we wanted to know what was the reason of escalation, then the explanation which was discussed, deliberated in this August House in the preceding years, it is needed to be repeated now by me because the government seems to be willingly trying to hide the facts. In whose interest? In whose interest? Whom are we trying to protect and defend? Why? Now the explanation. I have run this power sector for quite substantial time. I have read the Electricity Act 2003, everything, not just once, number of times. Because it was during my time when we adopted the state power policy. And we started the whole unbundling of the then Meghalaya State Electricity Board. We were in transition, we were in difficult situation, and the minister in charge was also in charge of this power department at that point of time, subsequent to the unbundling. So, therefore, the generation we had a dedicated fund earmarked for this Ganol power project, hydroelectricity project. We ensured that the resources does not become a reason for delay in implementation. Dedicated fund was kept almost like a deposit money. The whole money required for the completion of the project was completely tied, TIED, tied. It was already supported by a dedicated tied fund. Then 2018 sudden proposed escalation, the reason was that geological surprises. We use this word for Leska Mantudu project, geological surprises. Geological surprises can be always there because we don't know what is inside. We don't know what is inside. Only when project is taken up, then we will come to know what is inside. If we are lucky, if there is no geological surprises, then the expected cost which is projected in the initial stage of DPR will stand. But in the event of geological surprises, we are bound to have certain, based on that kind of geological surprises. But Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, why I'm referring to this is because the physical progress, the components of works completed were such that there was no more underground work left by the end of 2017-18. So where is these geological surprises? It is in the air? It is in the open air? So does it not require a serious measure to be taken by government to know and find out? Otherwise, it will amount to failure in protection of the interests of the people and interests of the state. Now, here are two things. One is the drainage of avoidable resources, avoidable prevention of drainage of resources. Preventable. Number two is that because of the cost factor which will be added upon to determine the tariff. That's why the tariff has gone. What is the tariff fixed by the State Electricity Regulatory Commission for Ganol project? I think the House should know. The House should know what is the tariff being charged by Meghalaya Electricity Generation Company in respect of the power which is being purchased by the Meghalaya Power Distribution Company, MEPDCL, from the Power Generation Company, Meghalaya Power Generation Company. The tariff. In respect of the tariff pertaining to the electricity being drawn from Ganol hydroelectricity project. This will give an indication to us, to common men, to know, oh, this is also, because of this tariff is added. Then, we have invested substantial amount of money for upgrading the transmission lines. Now, transmission company, never had the transmission company shown any loss. But suddenly, it has started showing loss. I want to know from the Minister in charge the cause of loss reflected in the accounts and financial statements of the Meghalaya Power Transmission Company. Then, the issue of the implementation of number of programs. As I made my submission, every cost, every overhead expenditure is going to be taken into consideration while submitting the tariff petition by the Power Distribution Company to the State Electricity Regulatory Commission. Therefore, every component, any new component of additional cost, which is the reason for increased tariff being proposed by the distribution company, must be examined by the government. We know that there is a clause before determining the tariff, the hearing. Do people come and actually present or post their complaints? No. Our people are innocent. They think that, okay, electricity, we need electricity. Even if it is costlier, doesn't matter, I want electricity. So, taking advantage of the innocence of our people. if this is what is going on. What is the role of Electricity Regulatory Commission also? Yes, they have to determine, they should know how to say no. Because of the inefficiency, if any proposed added cost is being incorporated and factored in the petition for revised tariff, the Commission has to indicate this is because of your sheer avoidable escalated expenditure. This is what used to be done before. That's why the power sector, though we incur loss because of the inefficiency, we did not pass on the burden to the consumers. But today, as though it is more like a, match fixing, everybody is willing and the conglomeration of the willing group. It is becoming like that. This is the perception. With no intent to point finger, but the perception matters. Perception matters. But at the same time, when the perception matters, only people who know are having this perception. What about the innocent consumers across the state? It is the responsibility of each member of this august house to protect the interests of the people of the state. Every single paisa that we are unnecessarily burdening, which can be avoided, if we don't prevent it, it is our failure. Failure which is beyond our capacity to prevent is something else, but this is something which we must collectively decide to prevent. That's why I'm flagging these issues. These are cumulative irregularities. It might not have happened now, but it has happened and it is happening. There's a continuity. There's a continuity and the law must prevail. Law must prevail. Take cognizance of all those areas of irregularities. Go for some inquiry. Let people be afraid of law. I have also referred to one particular serious issue in last session, but I did not get a reply on that. That was in my submission during the I don't know whether it was a cut motion or a budget discussion, but I did refer about the power purchase and resale of the power. Look at the difference. How much was the unit of electricity purchased and what was the rate at which it was sold? How it is regulated. The whole power trading is regulated. How this is possible, I don't know. It is never possible because there is a regulatory mechanism. In fact, the whole Central Electricity Regulatory Commissioner has the power to regulate all those sell and the quantum of margin of profit to all the power traders. They cannot go beyond certain amount of power, margin of profit. But how these are happening? This is in view of the report which was made available before the August House by the auditing body. So is it not necessary, therefore, to go into details? How can we sell something if we buy something at 1 rupee 50 paisa? We cannot sell it at 1 rupee. I would urge the minister in charge to really look at all those areas of concern, because then it will have its ramification, positive ramification, a course correction for the future. Then we will at least prevent our people from being victim of this whole ever increasing uncontrolled tariff, the petition which they are submitting and the Regulatory Commission happily approving, and the burden is being passed on to the consumers. Then another part is the tariff, the bill, electricity bill which is being generated and being passed on to the consumers. Some friends from Rivoy talked to me. Sir, how is it that we didn't have electricity for a few months and we are still getting a bill generated? All the consumers. I am being specific about a district. In respect of the households who have the electricity connection but were not having electricity because of transformer damage and who were not actually getting power for almost few months. So bill generated during the time when electricity is not being provided to the consumers. Now, this gives us a reason to be analytical. How it can be? Every power injected, there is a auditing process. So what is the total power injected in respect of that particular district? How the bill can be generated against those households or villages who have the otherwise electricity connection, but during that time no electricity. Whether this power injected in the district is being diverted to somebody else, whose power bill our people, common men, are paying, is a matter of question. We have to find out. Idhar ka mal udhar. There is a possibility. We are in the era of technology. We have the smart meters. Therefore, the department has to take cognizance of this issue. Our people can be like the cyber crime. No, meter. Your meter reading is this. Your meter can be tampered, hacked. That's the reason why there is an advisory from Government of India. Any meter which is a product of company affiliated to our neighboring country should not be used. Advisory is there. From what perspective? From security perspective. Can you imagine in this Middle East what happened? Even the pagers became bomb. Even the wireless walkie-talkies of the security agencies became a bomb. This is an era of technology. Now, whether this technology is being misused to victimize our people and make them pay for the power which is not being consumed, is it not necessary for us to investigate this? Is this power being transferred to some industry, some specific industries, or some other industry, not necessarily within the state? Because we show that, okay, we have bought a power from one particular generation company, which may be outside Northeast. We may actually not sell it here. Maybe there is a hacking process in the whole, your dispatcher system, power dispatch centers. Anything can be hacked. Even when the earlier Twitter, X, they facilitated the hacking, massive hacking. And we heard Elon Musk referring to it, that IP address showed that it originated from somewhere. You know? They attributed to one nation which is in war. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, we cannot take these things as something which is not necessarily necessary for us to take serious note of. We have to take serious note of this. Whether our people are being cheated by some vested interest, by some group of people. In this country, as also in other countries, we just saw recently how our youth who were almost like kidnapping and being taken to Myanmar were rescued and brought back. Cyber crimes. All kinds of criminal activities by abuse of knowledge and technology. Therefore, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, this power sector is one sector where a robust mechanism should be put in place. And all these issues must be taken as a lead point for us to be serious, to see, to analyze, okay, are we being targeted by somebody or are we becoming vulnerable? Yes, we are vulnerable. Is our vulnerability an issue to be taken cognizance of and addressed? Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the Minister in charge himself is also an engineer. So, from all this perspective, please take cognizance of every point. It is not a time when I can speak more, because we have many more items which are being taken up for discussion through this provision of the rules of procedure and conduct of business through cut motion. So I would like to wind up my submission here, but with full expectation that the government take note of these issues with utmost seriousness and commitment to resolve these issues and do correction. Please save our people from being victim of unnecessary, ever-increasing tariff due to inefficiency. And this efficiency must be corrected, and people who are resorting to manipulation to make these organizations, these entities, crucial entities, becoming a loser entities, must be taken to task as per the law of the land. So with these few words, I hope government will definitely look at these issues and do justice to the responsibility and the power which is vested upon them. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Yeah. Sir, this discussion has even given me a lot of opportunity to know the drawbacks that the department is facing. And I would also like to put on record that all the points raised by the honorable members have been noted, and we will do our deliberation to see that these points are looked into. Mr. Speaker, sir, before I go in details, clarifying the problems raised by the honorable members, let me have an opportunity to give a brief note as per the Meghalaya Energy Corporation Limited is concerned. As rightly said by our honorable leader of opposition, that in the year 2010, on 31st March, the government of Meghalaya has notified the Meghalaya Power Sector Reforms Transfer Scheme 2010, thereby giving effect to the transfer of assets, properties, rights, liabilities, obligation, proceedings and personnel of erstwhile MECB to namely the Meghalaya Energy Corporation Limited, the holding company, the Meghalaya Power Distribution Corporation Limited, the MEPDCL, the distribution utility or the DISCOM, the Meghalaya Power Distribution Corporation Limited, the distribution utility, the Meghalaya the distribution utility or DISCOM, the Meghalaya Power Generation Corporation Limited, MEPGCL, the generation utility or GENCO, and the Meghalaya Power Transmission Corporation Limited, MEPTCL, the transmission utility or TRANSCO. These have commenced commercial operation as independent entities from the 1st April 2013 onwards. The MECL and its subsidiaries at present has a total strength of 2,642 regular employees and 1,984 contractual employees. Sir, the estate is steadily progressing in power sector in the last 5 decades for the estate. While the first power station was set up in the pre-independence era at Sonapani, the Umtru power station with 4 units of total capacity of 11.2 megawatt was commissioned in 1957. The Umiam Umtru Stage 1 power station and Umiam Umtru Stage 2 power station were commissioned in the year 1965 and 1970 respectively. The Stage 3 power station at Kirdemkulai and Stage 4 power station at Nongkilam were commissioned in the year 1979 and 1972 respectively. The Minthudu-Lishka hydroelectric project was put into commercial operation on the 1st April in 2012 with commissioning of the 2 units of capacity 42 megawatt each. The 3rd unit of Minthudu-Lishka hydroelectric project was commercially commissioned on 1st April 2013. The 40 megawatt new Umtru hydropower station was commissioned on 4 January 2018. The Lakro mini hydro project of 1.5 megawatt was commissioned on 1st March 2019. The Ganol small hydro project of 22.5 megawatt has been successfully running for more than 1 year now, having commissioned on the 1st August 2023. This has raised the total installed capacity as per the state of Meghalaya is concerned, is 367.5 megawatt. The annual power generation of MEPGCL has increased almost 5 times from 176.06 million units in 1975-76 to 899.65 million units during the year 2023-24. And with the commissioning of the Ganol Hydro Power Project, the favorable monsoon this year, the state is expected to generate around 1,200 million units for the financial year 2024-25. In respect of the transmission network, in 1975, there were only 232 kV grid substations, namely Maulai and Kilariat, with a capacity of 13.5 MVA, and the 132 kV line of 87.87 circuit kilometer. Today, the transmission network comprises of one 400 by 220 kV gas insulated switchgear substation with a capacity of 630 MVA, three numbers of 220 by 132 kV substation with a capacity of 1160 MVA, 18 numbers of 132 by 33 kV substation with capacity of 845 MVA, total line length of 1,624.33 circuit kilometer of 400 kV, 220 kV and 132 kV transmission lines with a total transformation capacity of 2,635 MVA. Sir, while the generation and transmission utilities look after the power availability in the state, the Meghalaya Power Distribution Corporation Limited, which is mandated with the distribution of power to the end users and consumers, MEPDCL is the only licensee mandated for distribution of power to consumers within Meghalaya. It is responsible for distribution of electricity in the state of Meghalaya. With growing energy demands, ensuring a reliable and efficient power distribution network is essential. Infrastructure strengthening of MEPDCL is a vital step to enhance the quality of power supply, reduce losses, and cater the increasing needs of both urban and rural areas. During the period from 1975 to 1982, the distribution network comprised 26 numbers of 33 by 11 kV substation with capacity of 48.25 MVA, 791 numbers of distribution substation of 689.85 circuit kilometer of 33 kV lines and 1,688 circuit kilometer of LAN kV lines. As on 31st March 2024, the distribution network comprises of 127 numbers of 33 by 11 kV substation with a capacity of 450.46 MVA, 14,274 numbers of distribution transformer substations, 2,794 circuit kilometer of 33 kV lines, and 19,769 circuit kilometer of 11 kV lines, and 37,563 circuit kilometer of LT lines in the state. Over the year, expansion of distribution lines to connect unelectrified areas, ensuring universal access to electricity. Many areas of Meghalaya, particularly rural regions, which have experienced poor infrastructure and lack of last mile connectivity for power supply, have been extended, upgraded, replaced for ensuring sustainable and stable power supply is highlighted in a brief as I am going to mention, sir. The LT lines length has grown by almost 51%, and number of distribution transformer has grown by almost 23% in the last 5 years. This infrastructure has been built up to provide new service connections to the consumers and power supply for the last mile connectivity. In spite of the fact that line length of LT lines has increased substantially, MEPDCL has been able to keep the distribution losses under control by enhancing operational efficiency. The number of consumers at LT level has increased by 33% and number of ST consumers has increased by 49% in the last 5 years. The connected load for the LT level consumers has increased to 68.82% and ST level consumer has increased 30.9%. With just only 7,377 consumers in the whole state during the year 1975-76, the total number of consumers as on 31st March 2024 has touched the figure of 6,90,596 numbers. Continued focus on infrastructure development, technological upgrades, and efficient management will further strengthen MEPDL's capacity to meet growing energy needs of the state, paving way for sustainable economic development in Meghalaya. Keeping this objective in mind, MEPDCL have commissioned 12 numbers of 33 by 11 kV substation in last 2 years, and 36 more will be completed and commissioned in near future. Sir, the government of Meghalaya has already notified the Meghalaya Power Policy 2024. The policy focuses on holistic development of the power sector in the state. It lays down the foundation of the development of hydro sector, the pump hydro storage sector, wind energy, solar energy, and mass needed development of thermal power project in the state to cater the state-based load demand of the state. The policy paves path for investment in power sector across all the verticals of the power sector, that is generation, transmission and distribution. The power policy has been structured in such a way that along with the development of power sector in the state, it takes care of contribution towards the NDC and achieving the carbon neutrality.
It is 2 o'clock. In exercise of the Rules 11, Parat 2 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business, I extend the sitting of this House till this demand number 11 is disposed of. You may resume your reply.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Sir, the MEPDCL provides power supply to consumers by purchasing power through long-term and short-term basis. On a long-term basis, power is procured from MEPDCL and the central generating stations. On the short-term basis, the power is procured through Indian Power Exchange, bilateral arrangement and swapping. The entire generation capacity of 367.5 megawatt of MEPDCL is hydro-based. The state power scenario is characterized by surplus power with comparatively low demand during the monsoon, that is from the month of May to October, and deficit power with high demand during the dry season, that is from the month of November to April. The sources of power MEPDCLs are central generating units, namely the NEPCO, NSPC, OTPC, NTPC, and MEPDCL is having a long-term, where the MEPDCL is having long-term access arrangement. MEPDCL, the generating station, our own utility. Other utilities, power exchanges, under short-term access, where power is imported through power trading mechanism in the formal bilateral purchase or power swapping. Sir, I would like to highlight some of the achievement of power trade since 2023. From April 2023 to March 2024, the power sale through power exchange was increased to 118 crore, that is for 126 million unit, as compared to 55.27 crore during the April 2022 to March 23. The average sale The average sale cost has also improved to rupees 9.33 per unit from rupees 4.76 per unit. This has improved. I'll be coming to other things later on, sir. From April to February 2024, MEPDCL has been able to sell about 7,443 million units of power, totaling around rupees 523.59 crore at an average rate of rupees 7.1 per unit. This has been possible due to better management of power and taking advantage of the various trading platforms available in the market. It may also be anticipated that from the winter 2023 till date, no load shedding has been resorted in the state, except on emergency situations and fault in lines due to inclement weather condition. Sir, regarding the energy audit, in compliance with the guidelines of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, New Delhi, an energy accounting report at division level has been published quarterly for assessment of data transparency. At present, energy audit report up to financial year 2023-24 has been completed and the same has been submitted to BEE and other related agencies. A monthly target-based commercial review meeting is being regularly held to address the issues relating to billing and connection, and several corrective actions have been taken. All these issues have been raised. If it is flagged to different platform through the grievance redressal transform, they are looked into, sir. I'll be coming back later on also. Sir, the impact of such efforts can be seen in the improvement of quantifiable parameters in the last 5 years as under. The distribution losses have been reduced from 26.4% to 18.88%. It has further come down, sir, to 17%. The billing efficiency has been improved from 73.6% to 81.12%. The collection efficiency has been increased from 91% to 103%, which indicated that the corporation is able to recover outstanding amount during this period. That's why it is more than 100%. Overall AT&C losses have been reduced from 33.10% to 16.2%. This is audited record during this period. The gap between average cost of supply and average revenue requirement has been reduced to rupees, or rather 90 paisa per kilowatt hour. So the difference between the average cost of supply and average cost of revenue requirement has been substantially reduced. Average hours of supply has been improved from 21.80 hours in 2022-23 to 22.21 hours in financial year 2023-24 in rural areas, and 23.04 hours in 2022-23 to 23.14 hours in 2023-24. In financial year 2024-25, this has been further improved to 22.55 hours in rural areas and 23.21 in urban areas as up to August 2024. For the last 2 years, the month-wise billing has improved from 78% to almost 91%. The billing as per the meter reading has improved for the last 2 years from 71% to almost 90%. Sir, this is not that what we want some more improvement in the entire section, and the department and all the utilities under MECL, they are working, they are level based to see that all these factors are improved in the coming years. Sir, one thing that is the outstanding dues which we are yet to recover, though we have seen that the collection efficiency has gone beyond 100%, we are giving much more emphasis to get those outstanding bills. One of the factors affecting the commercial performance is the outstanding dues to consumers. The cumulative dues are to the tune of 658.92 crores. I have all breakup, but I don't want to go all details. Sir, one of the pertinent points raised by many honorable members regarding the connectivity in unelectrified villages. The primary goal of household electrification in unelectrified habitations is to provide reliable and affordable electricity to all households, particularly in remote and rural areas that have previously been lacked access to electricity. The MEPDCL has submitted DPR to Ministry of Power for the electrification of additional households under RDSS on 22/12/2023, amounting to rupees 489.35 crore, comprising of 50,984 unelectrified households in 2,239 numbers of habitation. REC has sanctioned additional household electrification works for an unelectrified habitations under RDSS amounting to 429.26 crore, comprising of 50,500 numbers of household covering in 1,939 habitation. Sir, we will be trying our level best to see that all unconnected villages are given electricity. There are some villages which are classified as de-electrified villages. That means at one point of time electricity was given, but for some reasons like no consumer came forward for connection, or the line got damaged, these villages are not having at present any electricity. So these villages are also classified as de-electrified villages. We are taking care of all the villages. Whatever point raised by Ba Balajit and Ba Nujurki Shungo. Sir, I have discussed with them personally. There are some problems. That village he mentioned beyond the river is also falling under area of dispute. To taking the electric pole will be little bit difficult, though he volunteered that you give me the electric poles and I will myself connect to those villages. That will go beyond our scope of work. But nevertheless, we may take these villages, as Balajit also, he came to me and told that there are some villages which are beyond the fencing also. Am I right? I think inside the fencing, but very near to the border, where we are not able to take the electric connectivity. Under this RDSS scheme, we will try to see that all unelectrified villages, including the de-electrified villages, are connected, and wherever we will be not able to do it because of many reasons, because of terrain, because of the forest clearance and all these things, we will try to connect through CM Solar Mission. Please come forward. We will try to see that these villages are given little bit priority so that we can go for connection in those villages. As I mentioned earlier also, there is grievances redressal form. Yes, there are many instances where the transformer is damaged, but the bill is generated and given to the consumers. There are instances also where even electricity is not provided, but bill has been generated. Sir, we have taken all these issues and written to all the subdivisional officers that wherever we are not supplying any electricity, bill should not be generated. And there is an order on that. And if any such issues are there, we are ready to rectify those issues, sir. Regarding a unified billing system, to increase the efficiency in billing and collection, a unified billing system has been introduced by MEPDCL. It has an inbuilt feature equipped with facility for the steam consumers to pay the electricity bills through Mega Power app and at the same time air their grievances through the same mobile application. During the last 1 year, consumers have lost 2,080 complaints through the Mega Power app and 1,973 has been resolved and intimated to the consumers through the application. Some of the complaints received through the applications are wrong billing. Meter burnt, payment issues, power supply interruptions. At present, the percentage of online transaction with respect to the total number of transactions in the range of 40%, which translates that many consumers are making the payment through online in terms of amount collected through the online payment. It is in the range of almost. Many came forward and given some suggestions that why not some other mode like through Paytm, GPay or PhonePe. Sir, we are working on it. If it is possible, we will be definitely trying to even implement those things also. Sir, DT failure, of course, it is a very important issue and many of the honorable members have come to me and lodged complaint regarding the delay in DT failure. This we are looking into the real perspective to see that the DT failure is DT failure we cannot minimize because the failure is because of overheating, because of unauthorized connection, because of natural calamity like cyclone, storm, lightning and all these things. But what we are doing, that how quickly we can replace the transformer. In this respect, we are investing around 1.5 crore to upgrade our workshops. This is expected to result in the increase of transformer repair capacity, which is at present at around 480 numbers per year. We will be enhancing that one to 860 DT per year. This will minimize all those long wait for DT failure. Sir, there are certain good things also happen to MEPDCL. I am happy to inform that recently the state government has received 2 awards as a recognition of its efforts to improve its performance. One of the award was given by the Honorable President of India and the other award was given by the Honorable Vice President of India. The integrated rating evaluates DISCOMs across India based on the multiple operations and financial parameters, offering a holistic view of their performance. MEPDCL's rating has been upgraded from D category in financial year 2023 to C category in financial year 2024, signifying steady progress towards financial stability and operational efficiency. Additionally, the utility has climbed up 10 positions in the national rankings, improving from 52nd place in financial year 2023 to 42nd place in financial year 2024. One of the most significant achievements in financial year 2024 has been the improvement in collection efficiency, which has increased 97.91 in financial year 2023, and as I mentioned that it has gone to 103%. MEPDCL has been awarded with the prestigious Energy Conservation Award in Group 4 category for 2 consecutive years. Sir, we are working on this to see that that our efficiency increases. It is not only that we are getting some awards, but it also reflects that we are working very diligently to see that the consumers who are the end beneficiaries get the benefits. Sir, now I'll come to the points raised by Honorable Member. Arden has raised that no generation from Umiam Lake, because everybody who commutes across the Umiam Bridge, they see that water is still full. Some have called me also that because of the repair, this water is there, but which is not, sir. Actually, we are trying to see that our power portfolio is managed very efficiently. And on that basis, this has been done. Another factor is that this factor was there for quite long term. This is regarding the NTPC power. Actually, we were having dues with NTPC almost 488 crore, which was neutralized little bit by taking an Atmanirbhar loan and repaying around 244 crore. This 244 crore outstanding dues with time has gone to 664 crore as on 31st March 2023. And we have discussed in the department, and we discussed with Honorable Chief Minister also, that if at this rate these dues are going, then in no time it will cross 1,000 crores, then it will be beyond our scope to repay the loan. So Honorable Chief Minister has taken pain to negotiate. Of course, I was also there with the Honorable then Power Minister in Delhi, Union Power Minister, and they agreed to give us a rebate of around 99 crores. The remaining 565 crore, we agreed to, they asked us to pay in 20 installment each. And after that, we have requested them, and they agreed for 36 installment. So it is coming around 15.7 crore per month. And if you continue this, by next 26-27, we'll neutralize all the dues of NTPC. This is a good thing that is happening in the department. I would like to tell the August House, sir, that as far other utilities are concerned, like NEPCO, like Power Grid, like NTPC, NSPC, NTPC is this, like NSPC and OTPC, we are not having any current energy dues. Dues are cleared every month. Now in this thing, what happened? Originally, that figure is not with me. Originally, this 88.35 megawatt of power, which we were supposed to draw from NTPC Bongaigaon, were given to Tamil Nadu around 53 megawatt and 35.35 megawatt to Uttarakhand. So that has created a lot of problem for us, because there was not that required mix of hydel and thermal power, which should have been 60% of thermal power and 40% on hydel power. Sir, in one way we boast everywhere that Meghalaya maybe is the only state in the northeast, those who are not having any other source of power than the pure, clean and green energy. Our entire generation of 367.5 megawatt is coming from hydel power projects. Maybe other states also having the same capacity. So this has created a lot of deficiency as far our power availability in the state. Now what we have decided to take back that 35.35 megawatt of Bongaigaon power from the state of Uttarakhand and 53 megawatt of power from Tamil Nadu. These 88.35 megawatt of power which has come into our grid has helped us to mitigate the power scenario in the state. That's why we are not generating from the Umiam Dam because of 2-3 reasons. One reason is that we have assured that there will be no power shutdown during the examination period. We never know because all generating units are the electromagnetic units. There may be any fault and one unit is down. Say for example, Leshka 42 megawatt will be completely stopped. So on emergency basis, as we are available, having the availability, as we need not buy energy at the juncture, we thought that let it be as an emergency. That is number one. Number two is that we are generating, sir. We see the market, how it goes, and on that basis, when the peak demand is very high and rate is very high, we generate and sell transparently through the Indian energy exchanges. And that's how we have earned around more than 500 crores in this financial year till these days. That's why whenever is required, then only we generate from Umiam for the time being. It is not that we are not generating. Rain is still skipping us, sir. I thought today it will rain because some sound I have heard. So this is the region because of which you are seeing the water in Umiam Dam. The second issue is tariff. Sir, tariff is completely dependent on the regulatory commission. Of course, we apply. All this infra is not included while defining or determining the tariff. So, even as per Ganol also, there might have been escalation in Ganol project due to unavoidable reasons or circumstances, as mentioned by Honorable Leader of Opposition, that due to geological surprises and all these things. I am not having all the details with me, sir. If needed, I can place on the table of the House. The tariff, we are only petitioning whichever is coming in the operational period. And there is also issues that our people were given more burden as per increase of tariff is there. No, sir, this year's tariff, I think, only 4% has increased. And if we compare with other states, our tariff is still very low. Yes, sir, I am having some here. Say Meghalaya fixed charge is 90 rupees, whereas Manipur, of course, having 65 rupees, Assam 70 rupees, Tripura 58 rupees. This is the fixed charge. But as per the energy charges, we are 5 rupees 77 paisa. Manipur is 5 rupees 93 paisa. Then Assam is 8 rupees 30 paisa. And Tripura is 7 rupees 80 paisa. So base rate is still we are much lower than many northeastern states. Of course, other states are there. I am not mentioning those because those are not relevant. Regarding the outsourcing of jobs, sir, we have the requirement of huge staff. And like salary and all this thing, we are employing our engineers and at a rate of 17,500 per month. We are employing our junior engineers at the rate of 50,500 rupees per month. Of course, when we go for contractual basis, rates are comparatively lower. But as we are going for many intervention, improving, there are lots of substation we will be commissioning very soon, sir. And in the cabinet also, I have raised this issue that we need many manpowers. But as we need these manpowers very urgently, we thought that outsourcing will be the best way to mitigate the situation of shortage of manpower. All the members are complaining that one lineman is looking after 40 villages, 45 villages. Those are actually issues. I have gone to many substations, those who are ready, but for the need of manpowers, we are not able to commission those things. So this matter will take up, sir. And one thing I would assure that all the outsourcing, the preference and priority, and the compulsorily will tell the agency that they should be local boys. And one thing I would like to tell also, I tell our honorable members also who come with these issues. Say, for example, a person who is mending a substation. We prefer that the person who will be employed, if they are a qualified man or technicians, we will take from that village only. Because if somebody is from Shillong, somebody have already told that they go from Shillong there. So many times they are not available at the substation. That causes a lot of problem for us. So we told the MEPDCL and all other utilities that take the people who belongs to the local area, so that whenever he is on leave also, on the emergency, he can immediately come and take out the issues. Bright Star, well, Marbaning has raised the unelectrified localities in his area. He came with some groups also, met me. The problem is that as those areas are fast growing, and the load on Meghalaya substation is so much that these years are, we personally, myself, I did not take any holiday apprehending that something will happen Meghalaya substation. Because Meghalaya substation is such an important substation which cater almost 60% of the Shillong locality. And that area also increasing. That's why we are having many substation coming up to decongest the power in Meghalaya substation. We are augmenting, as I mentioned yesterday, that very soon we will be floating the tender for upgradation of Meghalaya substation from 3 into 20 MVA to 3 into 50 MVA substation. And not only that, we are going to even upgrade the Nehu substation. And the new substation at Syllad, which will have 2 into 50 MVA of 132 kVA and 2 into 160 MVA for 220 lines. And also, because those areas are coming up, including Maukano, the New Shillong Township, we are aware that there will be sudden rise of power in those areas. That's why we are coming out with a 132 by 33 kV substation at Maukano, having 2 transformers of 2 into 50 MVA. So these are not far away, but moreover, as I assured last time also, I am assuring this time also, when the RDSS is implemented in those localities, we'll take care that all the households which are there in Meghalaya regions will be provided electricity connection. That will be there. But load factor is an important thing. Rusted electric pole, we will be changing around almost 1 lakh poles through our RDSS and other intervention like ADB and all these things. So there also we will see. This is a fact, sir. In many areas, even in my areas also, many poles have been rusted and there is no timely replacement. That's why all these things we have taken care as per the RDSS is concerned. Once this will be taken care of, this RDSS will be implemented, I think all these problems will be taken care of, including the DTs, the distribution transformer, which are unfenced or unguarded, where a cattle has died. That is also a matter of concern. We insist that that all unguarded transformers should be either raised to the height so that nobody can touch, or if not possible, that proper fencing should be there. But we are taking care of that part also in RDSS. Regarding the sad demise of Barkinshan Karmaushwit, sir, I don't know the details. If you can provide, we will try to see. Because in many cases, we have employed people from the family. If they are eligible, we will see to it. Our senior member from Nongthomai has raised that 4 entrepreneurs who have applied for connection, they did not get the connection immediately. It's a matter of fact. In some places it is happening. It is not that everywhere it happens. But nevertheless, sir, we will try to, I personally will review this matter after the session is over, and to see that some time frame is given within which these transformers or connection which will be provided. Even yesterday we were discussing even the cost of giving the connection, whether there is any scope to remove those costs or not. And our esteemed consumers, including in my constituency also, sir, they find MLAs are the right person to approach, who will call and immediately that. Sir, sometimes we feel proud also to address, if we can address the problem faced by the city. And congestion in the city because of the force in the middle of the road and all these things. I will have a talk with the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, PWD. Sir, many times what happens when PWD does the widening, they do not take consideration that these poles will have to be shifted. That is, the issue is there. I will take this one and will try to see that. Our leader of opposition have raised many issues, and this is the time he got an opportunity to explain and educated me also on many issues. Regarding the Genco tariff, that is one issue raised. Sir, Genco tariff, as per the information available with me, Umiam 1, we are having the tariff of 4.07 rupees. Umiam 2, 5.707 rupees. Umiam 3, 5.60 rupees. These are per units. Then Umiam 4 is 3 rupees 80 paisa per unit. Leshka 3 rupees 40 paisa per unit. New Umtru 2 rupees 23 paisa per unit, and Ganol 4 rupees 77 paisa per unit. These are the tariff as per all the Gencos are concerned. And this tariff is fixed by Meghalaya State Regulatory Commission. Sir, if needed, I can place in the, or I can repeat also. Umiam 1, 4 rupees 7 paisa per unit. Umiam 2, 5 rupees 70 paisa per unit. Umiam 3, 5 rupees 60 paisa per unit. Umiam 4, 3 rupees 80 paisa per unit. Leshka 3 rupees 40 paisa per unit. New Umtru 2 rupees 23 paisa per unit. Ganol 4 rupees 77 paisa per unit. This is the Genco tariff fixed by MERC. Sir, we are not favoring any industrialist, and we will not do. That much assurance I can give, sir. Sir, recently we have one scheme called OTSS, one-time settlement scheme. I would like to inform all the honorable members through you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. The Honorable Chief Minister has flagged up one program called one-time settlement scheme, in which we are targeting only the consumer who is having dues up to having the load capacity up to 5 kilowatt only, not beyond 5 kilometer. We are targeting the most underprivileged people and also the not so privileged people in this group. And here the OTS is there for the information of the House. I like to tell that whatever dues are there, if the line is disconnected, the consumer can approach to the local AWE and he can go for disconnection. Whatever the surcharges, penalty, whatever is there, then the energy charges will be waived 100%. There will be nothing. And these remaining energy charges can be paid in 6 installments. In the first installment, they will have to provide 40%, and remaining 5% remaining 60% in 5 installments. And there will be henceforth no interest levied on the remaining dues. Only thing is that if they are disconnected, they'll have to go for a reconnection charges, which may be around 500 rupees. That is the things. Sir, corruption, we will try to deal as firmly as possible. We will definitely try to see that all avoidable expenses are avoided. And auditing report started, sir. Even MECL's financial health also, we audit and publish. Then I told about the other issues, sir. And definitely, sir, the government interest is to see that the consumer's interest is protected. That we will see. And as I told that our selling average is more than 7 rupees as far units are concerned, sir. Sir, now I'll come to Ma Nojur ki Shungu. I have already, I think I told all these issues, so we will take care of all those issues. Balaji Chindim is having really some difficult problems in his border. And billing cycle, this is still is a concern for us. Sir, though we have improved our billing cycle, but we need to do a lot to see that billing cycle is improved. Regarding our honorable member from Dadingri, regarding FATCO, sir, FATCO is under now NCLT, that is National Company in Law Tribunal. But nevertheless, I don't know the employees, some of the employees, they met me also, because we don't know on what category and what criteria they have been employed. And we are not even yet sure that what tribunal will give the verdict, whatever it be. We will try to see that those who are eligible are re-employed by whoever taken over, be it MEPDCL or any other agency, sir. Rasted poll, I told, damaged transformer, I told, and also pending bills, we will try to see that pending bills are given regularly. Renington Tonkar has raised during the question hour also. Sir, this is a case also. I told those rates prior to 2020. Rate has been revised post 2020. We are also in consideration to review this one. We are in task with the disaster management department also, that how they are doing. So we will try to see that this increases. The distribution can be better, definitely, sir. Distribution needs to be taken mass care of. Sir, I hope that I try to. Oh, yes, I forgot by Albert. Sorry. How I forgot? Wait. Pardon? No. Maybe because that is not pertaining to us. That is not pertaining to us. Sir, street light in Shillong city is managed by municipal, then smart city project and local darbars using their own managements and all these things. Only Shillong Central Division we have 683. I don't know that exact area, but I will try to find out and see if it is under our Shillong Central Division. You mentioned from Assam Studio to Jibstand, that stress. If it is under Central Division, then definitely I'll look into to see that this program is addressed, sir. And regarding the other parts of the city, sir, this is basically handled by municipal smart city project and local Darbar with their own manpower and all these things, sir. So this is the issue regarding by Adalbert Nongrum. Sir, with these few words, I hope that I clarified. There are many issues. Even I wanted to actually take up in this house to let the honorable members know that how power department is working. But because of time and all these things, I think I will not prolong. I have taken all the notes that have been raised by, all the points that have been raised by the honorable members. And we will try to see that if we address all these issues, automatically there will be an improvement as far the MPDCL is concerned. Sir, government utmost care is to see that electricity is being provided to the last mile of the state and no house is left. But one thing is very, what I will say, it is not disturbing, but sir, the villages are increasing. The migration of villages are there because of new habitation. Every locality which was 5 years back, nothing was there. Now you see so many multi-storied houses are coming up. The demand is very high. We are growing at a rate of 11%. We want to have more generation units. That's why I'll be thankful. I don't know the honorable member from Maushin Road who helped us to see that Riangdo power project comes very quickly. Sir, this is a project that we have taken up for 3 megawatt, but on my visit with all the officials of the department, somehow we found that this can be increased to higher capacity. So we flagged these issues to some agencies, and ultimately the DPR is being prepared, which has been sent to the IIT Roorkee, and IIT Roorkee has vetted. Now we are awaiting the approval from the government. We'll convert the 3 megawatt Riangdo substation to 6 megawatt substation. If that comes out, then to some extent the load factor of West Khashi Hills and neighboring areas will be taken care of. Sir, as far as Leshka 2 project is concerned, we have almost cleared all the windows which is required to be cleared except the environment clearance, which we are expecting that by end of this month we will get. If not, also may take 1-2 months more, we will get. This will be a power project which is having the capacity of 210 megawatt. But the question will come that how we will go about it, because as we mentioned, and as I mentioned earlier also, that there are lots of dues as far the MECL and its utilities or subsidiaries are concerned. So that we needed to be take up with the government that on what basis we will go. Sir, we are willing to take up any power projects because the demand is increasing every day, but our generation is not increasing. That is a matter of concern. We are looking forward for even private players to come and invest in the state, but that should be in the hydel power projects, because where we will get 12.1% free power, that will help us mitigate our power deficit also. Sir, with these few words, I thank all the honorable members who have raised all the issues, and we will see that all these problems will be taken care of. If there is any omission, commission, we will look into it and we will try to see that whoever is causing delays to our esteemed consumers, whoever is causing trouble to our consumer, will be taken very hardly. With these few words, I would like to request the honorable mover of the house, please kindly withdraw the cut motion so that this grant is given and we work further for our esteemed consumers. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, before the mover of the cut motion shares his mind, I would like to just refer to a few of the replies. The tariff which was referred to in the reply pertaining to Umiam 1, Umiam 2, Umiam 3. These are old generation stations. And Ganol tariff is at 4. What is this whole modalities adopted by the Regulatory Commission for determining the tariff? Because ideally all power generation, which is hydroelectricity, there is no new input cost. You are not utilizing a fuel or otherwise. It's not a thermal generation company. So how this levelized tariff of Ganol has come to 4, how it has been structured, I think it is necessary to know. There's a mechanism, there's a formula which is adopted for fixing a tariff. And then Umyam 1, Umyam 2, Umyam 3, it has come to 5 rupees. No? That's something which is creating this inquisitiveness. We need to know. Can I get this clarity on this first?
Sir, Ganol's cost has been considered at rupees 12 crore per megawatt. The generation cost that has been considered. For other, it has not been considered. Some renovation is being taken out also. As per Umiam 3, we'll be having, after the completion, we'll be having additional 6 megawatt also.
May we take it that the final rationalization of the tariff in as far as Ganol project is concerned is not finalized? It is the whole total generation capacity is not taken into consideration while determining this tariff.
Sir, this is what I told, that as of now, the cost has been calculated as 12 crore per megawatt, sir. On that basis, it has been considered, sir.
Pardon?
So I sincerely thank the Honorable Minister for his extensive reply and for trying to address the concern of all the members of this August House. So, however, sir, I feel that as far as the sharp rise in the electricity bill is concerned, I didn't receive any satisfied reply as to what steps the government will take to address this problem. It is happening. We've received complaints from people. And secondly, as far as the decision to outsource these jobs in MECL, sir.
Sir, I think in due course of my reply, I have already mentioned that tariff is determined by the Regulatory Commission, and on that basis, and whatever tariff has increased this year, it was only a nominal 4% as per the domestic consumer in the base level is concerned. And regarding the outsourcing of these things, sir, I mentioned already that we require immediate manpower to see that the utilities function very properly. So the normal course of recruitment may take some more time and all these things. So immediately we thought that it will be better to provide manpower in the department. But one thing is for sure that, sir, all the qualified boys from our state will be considered in this process, sir.
So that is not a major issue, sir. The issue here is about the remuneration, as you will not be able to get the same under the payroll of the MECL. So that is a major concern. So whether this is a temporary steps taken by the government, can we take it as a temporary step for as far as the outsourcing of jobs is concerned?
Yes, sir, it can be considered on that basis because there will be many interventions that especially the MEPDCL will be facing in near future. So we may have to reorganize our entire setup also. So this will be on temporary basis as far as possible.
Okay, so thank you. Another one clarification, sir. As submitted by the Honorable LO, that why should the consumers bear the brunt, and why should we pass on this burden to the consumer when we know that there is a systematic manipulation to how to determine the tariff in order to benefit the industrialists or something like that, sir?
Sir, as I mentioned, that it is done systematically only, sir. The Meghalaya State Regulatory Commission has taken all aspects And after that, and in this process, all the stakeholders have been consulted and a decision has been taken. This is not only for our state, every state it is done, sir, on that basis. And as I told, that our hike is very nominal as compared to the other states, sir.
Sir, I think somehow this whole reply creates a confusion rather than clarity. Because Ganol, a very old project, hydro project, the tariff has gone up. Then another part is where I also spoke about the tariff revision which was effective from 1st April 2024, very specific. Look at the tariff fixation by the Commission. It has to be guided by a policy direction. Now, how is it that the industrial tariff has come down and the general consumers tariff has come down? Am I wrong in that? Kindly refer to that notification.
Sir, the document is not with me, but I am aware of this. Actually, as per the national tariff policy, the hike or reduction should be within the limit of 20%. In the earlier instances, the rate of some industries have been more than 20%. To rationalize that one, that has brought below 20%. Whereas the other industries like, I think, ferroalloys and all, has been increased also, sir. It is not that they have not been increased. So that is the main reason for this little bit lowering of the tariff, sir.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the tariff, again tariff. We are referring to other states, Assam, Tripura, other states. Let us keep it in mind that other states also may be victim of the similar manipulation. That should not be the benchmark, that ours is a lower. No, it may be happening in the whole country. Meghalaya should lead by example. So you have an opportunity as a minister in charge to actually look at all these angles. So in order to rule out any possibility of such manipulation which facilitate unnecessary added expenditure in the process of implementation of various programs, which is again factored while tariff petition is submitted by the distribution company and generation company to the commissioner. Because they will, as I have said, what is the burden of responsibility of the regulatory commission? The commission will look at all the expenses. They will not know why the expenses are higher. They will go, of course, because this optimum input and other relevant provisions are required to be looked into by the regulatory commission as well. It also has a responsibility. But once the added burden of cost for any component of work done by the distribution company, transmission company, or generation company, this will be passed on because this will be factored in the tariff petition. That's why the tariff is coming up. So it may be a modus operandi resorted to across the country. So Meghalaya should start by looking into these possibilities. If there is nothing like that, then we'll be happy. So may we get this categorical reply. Honorable Minister in charge is aware of this because he himself was a Minister in charge power during our time. So he is in know of all these things. I don't have to further elaborate. But the intent of the government to look into these particular observations made by the members of this August House. Can the government actually say yes to see and convince itself that we are free from all those challenges of doubt? You know? This is my submission. Otherwise, I would suggest the mover of the motion, cut motion, not to withdraw.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have actually categorically clarified all these issues. There is nothing. And I can assure the House that there will be no manipulation to give little respite to industries and take that burden and put to the consumers. That will never happen, sir, from our side. But as I mentioned earlier, that there was discrepancies, maybe other before whatever the rates have been fixed, which were more than 120%. So that has been now normalized as per the regulatory commission's views, and that has been accepted by us, sir.
So I would like to thank the Minister for an elaborate reply to each and every concern raised by the Minister. But then just one clarification I would like to seek. In the course of his reply, he said that the tariff has increased only about in between 4 to 5-6%. But then when you look at the electricity bill as received by the consumers, because we have received numerous complaints where, in fact, I don't have it with me, otherwise I would have brought, where I was told that in the past 1 or 2 months, there have been a substantial increase, more than 100%, where the bill which they usually paid in the last 2-3 months in around 400 or 500, now it touches more than 1,000. So may I get clarification from the Minister with regards to?
Sir, as I mentioned earlier, that domestic LT lines, the tariff hike was only 4%. And then next for commercial it was 5%. That is the hike was there, sir. Regarding the substantial increase, that may depend on case to case because earlier the bill may not be taken. So this whatever is also there, the additional burden that will be not giving to the consumers in one go also. I don't know where it has happened. So we will look into the matter, sir, to see that there is not unprecedented hike of the bills. And due to the tariff being implemented from 1st of April, whatever the dues incurred in between will be not given to the consumers at one go. That will be given in 9 installments. So the fact is that, sir, it was only 4% hike, sir.
May I know the minds of the mover, whether he would like to withdraw or not?
Sir, yet I'm not satisfied with the reply, though he has made an attempt to address all concerns raised by all members. Sir, especially when it comes to the outsourcing of jobs. As a matter of principle, we are not in agreement with this idea of outsourcing jobs in government departments, as it will have a direct bearing on
You just
on
tell
the
me
needs.
after
So,
that you would like to withdraw or not.
yes, I'm coming to that.
No
Sir.
need to explain it.
Okay, sir. I beg not to withdraw, sir.
Okay. Since the mover is not willing to withdraw the cut motion, I will now put the question before the House. Yes. Put the question before the House. The question is that cut motion be adopted. Those who are in favor, say aye. Those who are against, say no. No, say it, no, say it. And the cut motion is rejected. Now let me put the question before the House. The question is that the grant number 11 be passed. Those who are for the motion say aye. Those who are against say no. Ayes have it, and the motion is carried, and the grant number 11 is passed.